Imagine a computer so powerful that it could solve in minutes what today's supercomputer would take thousands of years to calculate. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, that's exactly the Google is working on with its quantum chip. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into one of the most exciting frontiers in technology, Google's quantum chip. This tiny piece of hardware could change the future of computing forever. But before we get into Google's breakthrough, let's quickly understand what the quantum computing actually means. Quantum basics. In our regular computers, information is stored in bits. That's either 0 or 1. Pretty simple. But quantum computers use something called qubits. Thanks to the principle of quantum physics, qubits can be both 0 and 1 at the same time, a property called superposition. And when qubits interact with each other, they become linked in a strange phenomenon called entanglement. This allows quantum computers to process massive amount of data in parallel, far beyond what normal computers can handle. Google's big milestone. So where does Google fit into the story? In 2019, Google announced that its 54-qubit chip called Sycamore had achieved what called Google quantum supremacy. That means it performed a calculation in just 200 seconds that would have taken world's fastest supercomputer about 10,000 years. That was a huge milestone in tech history, proving that quantum computers aren't just theory, they can actually outperform classical machines. How Google's quantum chip works? Google's chips are built using superconducting qubits. These qubits operate at temperature colder than outer space, inside massive refrigerator called diluvian phase. At the extreme cold, electricity flow without resistance, allowing the chip to maintain quantum state. This is where the magic happens. But it's also incredibly delicate. Even tiny amounts of noise, heat can cause errors, which is why error correction is one of the biggest challenges in quantum computing. Applications and future possibilities. So, why does this matter? Well, quantum chips would revolutionize industries. Imagine designing new medicines by simulating molecules perfectly or creating stronger, lighter materials for aircraft and batteries. Even artificial intelligence could get massive boost, training models much faster than today. Finance, cybersecurity, climate modeling, the possibilities are endless, but of course we are still in the early stages. Challenges and competition. Right now, Google is racing against other tech giants like IBM, Intel, and startups around the world. Everyone is trying to scale up from few dozens qubits to hundreds and of thousands and eventually millions. The biggest hurdle is error correction, making sure qubits stay stable long enough to do useful calculations. Google's roadmap is ambitious. They want to build useful error-corrected quantum computer by the end of this decade. So, what does this all mean for us? Well, we are nothing throwing away our laptops anytime soon. Classical computer will still do the everyday jobs, but Google's quantum chip might be the key to solving problem that's today's computers.